Welcome to the Running Refresh Podcast, where hot takes and debates on the sport of running are more than welcome in the studio and for the good of the sport.
Running Refresh is hosted by Logan Lummel and his refreshing guests.
Welcome to the Running Refresh Podcast. I have my guests, Arnie Grunert.
Hello.
Grunert?
Yes, Grunert.
Yeah, and Nino Romeo.
Yes.
And Arnie and Nino are both freshmen at Western Illinois, pole vaulters. They're not runners. First non-runners on the podcast, but maybe they're also runners too. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Arnie's vaulted over 16 feet and Nino over 13 feet, and Nino might be dipping into the decathlon, I've heard as well.
Yeah.
And Nino is actually the second guest to have lost to me in fantasy football.
Oh.
Although my record against my guests is 2-5, so that's kind of tough. But well, introduce yourself. Where are you from? What's your major?
Yep, I'm so Arnie Grunert, and I've been I'm thinking about majoring in nutrition, but I'm not sure. I'm undecided. I'm from the south suburbs of Chicago, so like Mokina and Frankfurt. And yeah, pretty much that's me.
I'm Gaetano Romeo.
Yeah,
Nina's a nickname. Yeah, and I'm from Roselle, Illinois, which is the north suburbs of Chicago.
Nice. Yeah. It's both Illinois natives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm your host, Logan Lummel, future teacher and coach, current runner, ex-soccer player, just hoping to provide some unique perspectives on running. Now opening that up to the rest of the track and field world. Today we have two unique perspectives. Excited to talk to some pole vaulters, and this episode, I will say, is very well researched. I have many questions from sources on the track team.
Cool.
So
Okay.
it'll get a little interesting. I post running-related content every Sunday at noon. Follow on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube at Running Refresh. So I'll just start. First, I'll interview Arnie. Then, feel free to jump in.
Okay.
Add some perspective, some needed perspective. You two know each other well.
All right.
And then I'll have some questions for you both, and then rapid refresh at the end. Okay, so Arnie, what does your diet look like?
Oh boy. So I think I eat very healthy. Like I have a lot of veggies and stuff. I've grown up. My parents cook all the food and stuff like that. So I have a pretty decent diet with fish and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just love eating, and I eat a lot, way too much, and I get really mad about it and start getting big and complaining about it. But I still keep eating. I'm just
Okay.
You saw last
and
night.
if I see something on the table, I keep asking is anyone going to eat that? And then nobody says anything, and I'm like, somebody's got to eat this. No way I'm going to throw this away.
Yesterday we just had a potluck with the track team.
Yeah.
And, I saw it in full force. I'm not at the dorms anymore, but I've heard some stories. But there was some leftover mac and cheese, and Arnie's just asking someone to eat it.
We'll go out to Yummy Chen's or something, and then I'll order my thing. I'm so excited because I ordered a little bit of food, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's that? You can't that's not enough food for you, Arnie." And then everyone else doesn't finish their stuff, and I'll just are you done eating that? And I'll just take it from them, and I get everyone else's leftovers, and it's the best thing ever. Yeah, and I don't know.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah, I gotta stop doing that.
What about your pickled herrings?
I love it's not pickled.
Not
actually.
pickled.
It's
I just heard something about herrings.
The rumor,
maybe they're pickled.
I don't know. I just get it in cans and it's good. I like it. I like the herring.
Fish.
I put on some of those the Triscuits or whatever. Those are my favorite. But I've kind of cut back on that too, and trying to cut back on snacks, but nothing's working. I keep relapsing. I love food. What can I say? I love food.
It's an addiction.
Yep.
All right, and then what are your thoughts on minimalist footwear?
Oh yeah, so I have these shoes right here. These are
What
they got
brand is that?
This is Vivo Barefoot. So they're a brand of barefoot shoes where the toe box is wider and the sole is very flexible. So your feet kind of just move around as if you didn't have shoes on, but it's natural and your feet strengthen.
Okay.
I feel a lot of shoes have arch support that kind of weakens your foot over time. And I don't know, some people think it's weird, with the whole, the shoes that have it covering up your individual toes. Those are weird, but they're counted as barefoot. But it's just help strengthen my feet so much, and I don't like twist my ankle and stuff like that. And I feel like very strong. But you shouldn't just go like barefoot because humans made like concrete and stuff, and you
need some sort of artificial footwear for artificial surfaces.
Exactly.
Okay, and then I've also heard you're often barefoot as well. So what do you have to say about that? Just in general.
I just like being barefoot. Like, I don't know. I just like letting the dogs out, It's but I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of weird like that. Like, I think there was like stories of me, like when I was younger, when we would go like on vacations, like with my family, I would purposefully like not bring my shoes without telling them. And so we were already going off on the road trip, so there was no way I was wearing shoes or anything.
Fair enough.
Like, so I got to just like enjoy my vacation without wearing shoes, like as a kid, and I got used to it like that.
And then, can you explain what are toe spacers?
Toe spacers, they just align your metatarsals with like the angle of your toe, something like that. I'm not like I don't know too much about it, but apparently it's good for your feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a debate in the running world. There's people, that are very adamant about, minimalist shoes, and with the super shoes, it's gone like the complete opposite way for a lot of people.
Exactly.
So, like, I mean,
like the Vaporflies or whatever.
Yeah, the Vaporflies and the Next Percents, they're like, max.
It's like counts as cheating.
Yeah.
Like you can't wear some of those shoes anymore.
Yeah, some of the shoes counted as cheating, stuff like that, and I mean.
Yeah, but for like if you like wear those like during like competitions, like that makes sense. Like I mean, you shouldn't be wearing spikes all the time. That'll probably like crush your feet up.
Yeah.
But it's gonna make you run faster because you get more grip. Like different shoes for different applications. But if you're just walking around, you should get some like barefoot shoes, and obviously like slowly go into it because everyone's wearing these like thick heeled shoes, and if they go straight to barefoot shoes, their feet are gonna like get destroyed.
Yeah,
they'll probably injure themselves. So not a good idea.
Yeah.
But like slowly drop the heel elevation and get like a wider toe box so your feet are all crammed up and they look ugly too. You don't want ugly feet.
No.
You want good looking feet.
Especially when you let the dogs out.
Some people think feet are weird and they don't care whether they look ugly or not, but I don't know. I'm very adamant about working ground up, making sure I'm strong from the bottom before I go to my legs, my upper body.
All right, and then next question. So can you tell me about the time you made a pie?
The time I made it
at Malia's house.
Oh my god. It was so annoying. But we just didn't have any of the ingredients, even though Malia said she did or something. I was just super annoyed.
We were just unprepared.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, it was just rough.
It was supposed to be an hour.
The pie ended up tasting really good. Yeah, it was just supposed to be an hour, but it took a whole night.
3 or 4 hours.
Hello. It was done at 12?
Like 12:30.
Oh
people were falling asleep on the couch.
What kind of pie was it?
Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie?
My favorite. I love pumpkin pie.
It was good. It was really good. It was worth it.
Mm-hmm.
The baby probably wouldn't.
We made noodles out of it. And we made pasta
out of the leftover dough.
Because everyone was so hungry waiting for the pie.
So then I made pasta.
Okay. Yeah. And then, so you enjoy cooking. What do you enjoy cooking?
Actually, I haven't started becoming a big cook until this year.
Okay.
Just because I wanted to get into a hobby.
Just been more independent. And...
Mm-hmm. My big hobby before then was drawing. I have a lot of pictures and stuff that I'd done before, like hyper realistic stuff.
Really good.
But I don't know. Sometimes that just gets draining. Is working on those long projects and you have to look back and forth between the actual picture and your drawing, and I just want to relax. And my family was cooking too, so I got into it pretty naturally. But I just think it's fun to cook.
Your guac yesterday was pretty good, I will say.
Yeah, thank you. I needed more salt though.
Just a little more salt.
Bit. Yeah, but it was good.
All right, next I've got Nino. So, what is your obsession with mangoes?
I don't have an obsession.
It is.
I'm allergic to mangoes. Pretty
Bad.
bad.
Allergic to mangoes.
Really
tell
bad.
the story.
Yeah. So okay, I thought
this
was 2 weekends ago. I only knew I was minor allergic. I'd get a rash or something, and Noah Koji on the team. He got, you know, those little Kool-Aid jammers, like they're like they don't have a label on them or anything, and you like tear off the thing, right? And I tore off the thing, and I was drinking one with him. We were all in Malia's room again that night, and next day I had bumps, and we looked it up, and I was like, oh, there was definitely mango in that, and we looked it up, and there was mango in it. So I took some Benadryl or whatever, like it goes away the next day normally. I woke up just like chicken pox, like bumps all over me. I was shivering. Right? Yeah, I like couldn't move, and I couldn't really like use my hands. So on my phone, the first person who Snapchatted me was Robert. Shout out Robert. and I like pushed call on Snapchat, and I was like, "You gotta come drive me to the hospital."
No way.
Wait, didn't you like call like Malia or something? And they just like laughed
everyone
and thought it was a joke.
Everyone was out tailgating, and I called Malia, and she started laughing, and she was like, "What? I can't hear you." And hung up.
No way. Yeah. You could have like
you're left for dead.
I was stuck in my bed.
That would have been her last conversation with you, is laughing and then hanging up.
Yeah, and then Robert saved me. He came and got me. Yeah.
Thanks, Robert's a G.
Yeah, Robert is
a cool guy.
It's not an obsession. It's survival.
Yeah,
survival.
Wants to stay away.
That was horrible.
From mangoes. No.
Maybe I need to check my facts again.
Oh wait. What about like when they like gave you the? You said like you had like a weird experience when you
with what was they gave me like some sort
of drug. But
yeah,
like,
in the hospital, and they gave me too much of it in the hospital.
Wow.
I my heart started beating really fast, and I passed out in the hospital.
But he felt like really good.
Yeah, like it felt like all the bumps and stuff, like all the like itchiness just like went away for like 5 seconds, and then I just passed out.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
It was the most relieving thing ever. And
like
I was
you were
just
like a balloon or something.
Yeah,
like
about to pop.
Flying.
Yeah.
Like he was ready to run, but then he just passed out.
I just passed out. Yeah.
Well, now that we got the mango story, what about Pitch Perfect?
Oh, I'm a huge Pitch. That's the best movie sequel. It's Rocky and then Pitch Perfect.
Okay.
The best of all time movie sequel.
Which is the best Pitch Perfect?
Oh.
I don't have an opinion. I haven't seen a single
Pitch Perfect one. I'm a huge fan of Anna Kendrick. I had a huge crush on her. And yeah, OG Anna Kendrick, Pitch Perfect.
Big
one.
Anna Kendrick fan.
I could sing all the lyrics to every single song in it too. I'm crazy about Pitch Perfect.
Wow.
Yeah, I have an Excuse Me shirt and everything. Huge fan. Yeah.
Okay. And then, all right, this is a pretty hot question.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Thoughts on... she's already been mentioned a couple times. What are your thoughts on Malia Houston?
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's a rough one.
That is rough. She's nice.
Yeah.
We hang out with her a lot.
Yeah.
Maria's nice.
But your thoughts, Nino?
No.
Okay, we're not getting there. We're not getting there. No comment.
Okay, well, then I have a follow-up question. So do you have a car on campus?
Yeah, I do.
No, you do?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, Malia's car.
Yeah. So, like, we'll be trying to go out. Like, it gets late. Everything's closed. Like, the C-store closes early on weekdays. Okay. And, no one wants to lose their spot at night, so I'll just be like, I'll drive.
Yeah.
And I'll take Malia's car.
Okay.
But she'll be with us.
So no comment on Malia, but
yeah.
Malia's car.
You use her car.
Yeah,
okay.
we use her car.
Okay.
It's a joint thing. I think we all use her car. But
well, you're the one driving it.
Yeah,
so
I drive it. But I'm the best driver.
All right, if you don't know who Malia is, watch episode 6. All right, and then last one. How good would you say that you are at Smash Bros?
Oh, I'm insane.
Insane?
I'm 0 out. Like I used to be like a big gamer, like all the time. Like, but I just was never good. I had like a $3,500 like PC like setup. I played Overwatch.
So PC gamer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I was hardcore. Like I even got this one like gaming mouse that was like made out of carbon fiber and weighed like 12 grams, like just for the competitive edge. It had to be as light as possible. I think it cost like $150 for like this one mouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was just never good at video games, even though I paid like $3,500 for a whole setup. And so I just sold it. Ever since then, I haven't really been into video games, so I kind of suck at it. I never really liked Smash Bros. Anyway.
Yeah, that's my game though. Yeah.
Well, who's your character, Nino?
My main is Ganondorf, which is kind of cheap. A lot of people think he's cheap.
Okay.
I'm good with Ganondorf, but yeah.
All right, now I have some more questions for you both. All right, and this is related to pole vaulting.
Okay.
Have you had any injuries from pole vaulting, or maybe some like crazy accidents?
Okay, maybe so. I'll
Either
go
you can
first.
start.
I'll go first. Actually, literally just 2 days ago, I was we were just vaulting and stuff, and finally my glutes better. I've been like injured for a little while, and I'm starting to run, getting further back on my approach, and then of course my last jump, I like snapped the pole, and
Wow.
but like snapping a pole is sort of like the best way I can describe it is like you're hitting something with a baseball bat and you get that like vibration feeling, but it's like hitting a baseball bat with like a shotgun or something. Like it's like vibrates like so hard.
Like it goes
then
down
you're
to like
also
your
free
elbow.
falling.
Yes, and then you like land, but you always land up like
On
on
the
the
pit.
pit.
You
So
don't
it's
miss
like,
the pit.
so it's good. It's happened 3 times before, and it's always
Oh
like
my
hurts
gosh.
my left hand. That's my bottom hand
Uh-huh.
when I'm pole vaulting, and it just like right here,
Yeah.
and my thumb gets messed up, but it heals like pretty quickly. I can move around and stuff, but if I put like pressure on it, it hurts. But that's pretty much like the only injury other than running stuff. But
Okay.
every sport has that. You know?
Yeah.
Um,
How about you?
So my junior year, I just gotten over 13 for the first time. I was about to go to sectionals, getting ready for sectionals, and there's this thing called a half moon. It's like traditionally used in high jump to like kind of get that angle, but we used it in pole vault to get on bigger poles at my school.
You just put it on the ground. You jump off the. It's like an elevation.
It's like an
Yeah.
elevated thing, and so
I think I've seen that.
yeah, it just
Inside
helps you
the
jump.
team
It's
room.
kind of like a gymnastic sport, except it's not
Yeah.
springy.
yeah, it's just like a piece of wood, and
Yeah.
so I was trying to get on a new pole. It was like a 170. It was like the biggest pole I ever been on, and instead of going in, I went like inverted. I was really good at getting inverted my like junior year, and I kind of struggled ever since breaking my leg because it's kind of like a hard thing to get over after this happened.
Yeah.
But I went to the top, and I thought I was like at a good angle to push off, and I pushed off the pole. And when you jump off the box, it's you're getting a higher angle. Like you're normally going like
Yeah.
a foot higher than you normally would or something like that. And I pushed off, and I kind of like looked back like below me like once I pushed off the pole and saw where like the bungee was, and like time moved in like slow motion right there. I was like, geez, I'm not over the pit right now. So I was trying to like do like a finesse thing like and spread my legs across the box.
Ooh.
And I got my left leg there and missed with my right leg. And I broke my tibia, fibula, and I dislocated my ankle.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to do like a small arch when you're
Yeah.
pole
Yeah,
vaulting.
it's
It's
a
not
little
straight up and
angle.
down. It's just a small arch. But Nino just went,
just went
straight
straight
up.
up.
And if you're going straight up, the only way like you can go is just
It's just
straight
down.
back down,
Yeah.
like, head
Down.
first. Like
It's
you're not gonna.
horrifying.
You
Yeah.
don't
Horrifying
get any. You don't get any like rotation at the top. So you just like.
Yeah. I mean, I watched a
over it.
video. So my sister's a pole vaulter. She
Uh-huh.
pole vaults at University of Minnesota Duluth. She's a freshman this year. But I watched a video. She got hurt towards, after her season. She was vaulting alone. And, she just went straight up and
Oh, yeah.
straight
Oh.
down and like
It's not fun.
That's like the
landed
worst
like
one.
on her butt and like hurt her back.
That's the
right
scariest
before the
one.
pit.
But,
Yeah.
like scarier than breaking a pole because like it's such a long like this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like you're in the air and you're like
it's
there's
like
like what
time
do I
moves
do?
in slow motion, and you just have to think in the moment, like, how am I gonna finesse out of this situation?
Yeah.
But when you like snap a pole, it's just like so fast you don't have time to be scared or anything. So
Yeah.
it's not bad. Although I didn't talk about like the first time I broke the pole, which is when so it snapped off and like the bottom of the pole is the thing that shoots everywhere that actually like ends up not hurting the pole vaulter itself, but like hurting like the crowd of people.
Oh my
like I've
gosh.
had heard stories about like my coach's coach when they were pole vaulters like getting like hit in the head with it or something like not good. But this time the thing like hit me and like you can't really see it at all. I used to have sort of like a scar, but like right in my forehead,
Wow.
I was just like knocked out and like
Dang.
horrible, just like blood all over, like dripping down my
That's
face.
intense.
Kind of
Yeah.
looked cool, not gonna lie, but I was like out of it, like I took something, like I was just acting all weird. But
Yeah.
I got fixed up. I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay.
Yeah,
I might be
okay,
thinking
okay.
a little differently, but yeah, that's probably like the worst thing that's happened.
Okay.
Never. I can't think of anything else. Just running injuries like any other sport, and then snapping the pole. But
And then what has your progression been like as a vaulter for each of you just throughout the years?
So I was like kind of.
when did you start?
Oh, I started my like freshman year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
I was a pretty good wrestler, and they just kind of like brought it up to me. I was pretty good at football too, so they knew I had like the upper body for it and stuff, and I was fast. I jumped like 10.3 my freshman year, which is pretty good for a freshman, and I think they knew from there that I was like gonna be like kind of like consistently good or like up there with like scoring for everything. So they kind of kept me at it, but I was always like pole vault 400 and 100, so I wasn't always just a pole vaulter. And then yeah, I kind of just kept on going. I was really good at keeping progress up until my junior year when I broke my leg.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty tough.
Yeah, I had that kind of slowed me down with the progression stuff. But I was always
annoying.
consistently progressing, getting up there. Yeah.
I started my sophomore year, like midway through the season. And it was funny, like the first day I came in, we were already like moving into like the outdoor like pretty soon. And then like one of the vaulters was like really weird about it too. He was like, "Oh, there's no way you can become a vaulter now. Like it's too late. Like we're midway through the season, sophomore year, you're done for." And I just like totally proved him wrong. Like that first day, like jumped over like 10 feet, felt really good about it. Like on the bungee, of course, it wasn't a crossbar.
Yeah.
And from there on, I just like loved it, kept doing it, getting at it. Like that was like the first sport I done like other sports, gymnastics, wrestling, baseball for 7 years. Like first part of my life, pretty much just playing baseball. Didn't really like it, but I mean, this was something that like I could get passionate about, and
That's awesome.
Yeah.
it was really cool. And same thing with Nino. I had a lot of upper body strength. I could get upside down and stuff like that. But you see all my PRs, and even my PR now, 16.9-ish. It's 16.8 3/4, but that's annoying to say. But I just have like horrible running form. But like what really carries me was my was just like my upper body strength. But now I've been working on my running, and we'll see where it takes me. I think I can.
It'll be awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I mean, last year Western went from 0 pole vaulters to now how many do we have?
3. We got or 5 in total.
5
guys and girls.
5
Yeah.
total. Yeah. So like I mean, it's gonna be awesome.
Xander's
We're a fun squad.
Yeah.
Xander's really.
It's gonna
Xander's
be
fast.
I mean,
he's
I mean, team doubled in size, so it's just gonna be nice, like
It's
actually
weird.
having a full team and watching other events, and that gives you some adrenaline when you're competing.
Exciting.
Yeah. All right, and then you kind of mentioned a little bit, but did either of you compete in gymnastics growing up or any other sports?
I think for like maybe 1.5 years, around like 7th or 6th grade, I just did gymnastics, and I was like pretty like naturally good. Like my parents are very strong, and I just got gifted with that, which is cool. I appreciate it. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. And I don't know. Gymnastics is like super expensive too. So I just kind of like pulled out of it.
My sisters did gymnastics.
Yeah, and it was rough. They don't make it fun like when you get into like a higher level, but like it's super cool. And like when you first start out, like I mean, doing a backflip as a little kid is like the coolest thing ever. Like, oh, you can do a backflip.
Well, I mean, you incorporate some parts of gymnastics in pole vault training.
It's like
right?
a combination
Yeah,
of
we
a
do.
ton of sports.
We're
You
got
got
a ton of gymnastics.
The best pole vaulters in the world are like world-class sprinters. They're like gymnasts. They're like super agile, very flexible. It's like all wrapped up into one, except for endurance.
Yeah, they're normal.
Yeah. You don't really need the endurance for.
Nope. Just running in. But
Yeah,
I guess you're vaulting for like a while. Like you do a lot of bars and
True.
but you're not running like 5 miles or anything.
Yeah.
So what sports did you play?
I
growing
did
up?
gymnastics 1 year when I was little, but I got kicked out of it because I kept on like hurting myself,
oh
just
my
like jumping. But I was like a little kid. I was like 6 years old or something, and then but I was always in a wrestling kind of like MMA kind of community, so I kind of grew up with that like mentality around me, like not quitting with anything, like always kind of getting pushed.
That's good.
Yeah, and then football. I played football since I was like 5 years old up until my senior year. And I would like travel when I was younger. I'd go to like Canton, Ohio, Florida. Yeah.
All right, and then what is each of your experiences in running, like in general? or running track events.
I already know where this is gonna go.
I mean,
I probably have like
Yeah.
the smallest amount of experience. Like when I first came in, like we were just talking about, it was mostly me being able to like when I like my experience in gymnastics, and I'd like climbing stuff all the time. But I never got into running. I hated running. That was like my least favorite thing. And now I love running. And I think it was like my junior years when I started getting like serious into like sprinting and doing extra work with the sprinters at my high school.
okay.
And now it's like one of my favorite things. I hope I get to like do the 100 or something. But I gotta make sure I'm not injured all the time.
Yeah,
like I
and that
am
you
right
won't
now.
hurt yourself.
Yeah,
going
exactly.
full out.
I don't want to like
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much just
Yeah.
a little bit of experience.
I just ran like the 4 and the 100 like up until my sophomore year, and then like kind of took pole vault more seriously, or like just scoring in that.
And I mean,
Yeah.
you need to be like as fast as possible
yeah.
if you want to be good at pole vault.
The most important aspect of pole vault probably is
the run.
the speed.
Is 100% the run.
I mean, I've watched a lot more pole vault in the last couple of years, just watching my sister and stuff. And, there's people that can get up, especially like high schoolers, who are like really raw pole vaulters,
yeah.
a lot of times. And it's like they can get up because they're strong, or it's like because they just blow through and they're just really fast.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You can, when people are just getting into it, you can really see what their strength is. Just,
But eventually,
doesn't seem like
eventually it comes to a point where like upper body strength is, it's needed for pole vault, but all the elite pole vaulters are just trying to get like as fast as possible.
yeah.
The best pole vaulter in the world is the fastest pole vaulter, Mondo Duplantis.
Yeah, and he's not like a big dude by
That's
any
interesting.
means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's like pound for pound too with pole vault.
Yeah.
like, what do you mean by that? Just like,
being not necessarily being the strongest, but lifting yourself.
being
makes
able
sense.
to as long as you're just fast, then you're good.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that's
that's the same with sprinters too. Is just being pound per pound like stronger than
Yeah.
You can like compare some pole vaulters to like Lysek or like Matt Ludwig and compare them to Mondo. It's like these two big dudes, but like they can't even like they're not like Mondo.
Yeah,
Like, it's just like-
they don't run as fast.
like
I mean,
you
they're
would-
amazing vaulters.
They're nuts.
like-
They're so good, but yeah.
yeah, and they're fast too. But
They're fast.
Mondo's faster, so Mondo wins. And he
runs
has
like
an
a
amazing
10-2 or
top end too.
something, Yeah.
All right, and then what do you think you can run for an 800?
Okay. For
This is
some
more of a Nino question.
Okay, I
pretty much a Nino question.
jokingly said one day I'd run a 210. I cannot run a 210. Maybe like a, I don't know, like
Well, because what's your 400 PR?
it's it's from like sophomore year. I think it's like a 56 or a 54. It's
I
something
mean,
like that.
I
It's not
think you
horrible.
actually maybe could run a 210 if you're in 56 shape and like you absolutely just go your hardest and like,
I don't know how to run it. That's the thing. Like I don't know how to like prepare myself for a long distance race.
Yeah.
Like for a 400, I just go all out. Anything else, like do I have to conserve some energy? I don't know how it works.
I think for one meet, it was either like a 52, 53 that I ran a 400, but I was like totally done. Like at the end, like it was everything I
horrible.
got.
The lactic acid.
I
is
really, it
terrible.
was really fun though, like really rewarding because I
Yeah.
ended up like it wasn't a huge meet or anything, so I ended up like it was a 4x4. So they got my split. I was like the first leg, but it just was so hard. Like I just laid down at the end. Like
those middle distance events.
they're crazy, but I couldn't imagine doing another lap. That last 100 just seemed like so far. Like I just kept running.
seems
Like
so slow.
I was running like on nothing. Like just like my bones were just
Trust me,
supporting
I know. And then what are your thoughts on the decathlon? Both of you?
I really want to try it. I said, I grew up with like a lot of like the MMA stuff around me, which was like always pushing yourself, and
Seems like the ultimate challenge. To me.
I just really want to push myself. But also, I went to Lake Park High School. It's in the suburbs, and we had a decathlete there named Zach Zymek, who represents. He's the U.S. national pole vault or national decathlete right now. Like he's the main guy.
Lock screen.
Yeah, he's who I'm chasing right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully I could be competing with him eventually. That'd be
that's
cool.
I don't really. Pole vault's my thing. I mean,
don't
like
have any
I
plans.
think javelin would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, you
but-
could probably.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. I think
Hook it.
that'd be,
You
I
could
think that'd be
hook
so cool. But definitely not distance or
Yeah.
or
Would you consider doing the javelin though?
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool too. I don't think we have very many
I've been
like
trying
throwers.
recently.
No.
Yeah, well, you're gonna be a decathlete, so
Yeah, it's fun. It's very
cool.
frustrating.
But definitely,
a new event,
I mean,
though.
pole vault's my passion. That's
Yeah.
that's what I'm here for. But
Awesome. And then what are your goals for freshman year, maybe even beyond?
me first.
Yeah.
In terms of like getting like the height, maybe 17.6 is I think pretty reasonable. I think it's possible. I get 17.6, especially with my run like evolving, and I'm recovering slowly, which is good. Yeah, I think 17.6 is pretty good.
My goal is to get over 15. I want to jump over 15. But for decathlon, just scoring in conference. I don't have like a main goal for that right now, just because I haven't done it yet. But yeah, just to be the best as possible.
Well, and then we'll see, how far or how fast you can run an 800. You'll do a 1K if you do, indoors.
Yeah.
And then outdoors be 1500. But
Yeah.
we'll see
I'll do
what you're
whatever I
made
got
of
to. Yeah,
Look,
past 400 meters.
I can push it.
And then what tips would you give to young pole vaulters right now?
Oh, that's I don't know. I actually did like
Although you are one yourself.
Yeah,
exactly. Like that's a tough one.
You gotta stick with it. It's really mentally challenging, especially when you're first like getting going at it. You're just like, geez, this is harder than it looks.
Yeah, like we're
was
talking about
weird.
like pole vaulters that like are like into it and like want to like get better. Usually those are the ones that like start out pretty good, who are jumping like over 8 feet like on the first day. Like they've already, I don't know, like they're an active kid. I don't know, get faster, I guess.
Get
faster. Just like start running,
Learn
like
the
that's
technique.
that's how you get good.
You got to do swing ups on like bars and stuff. Just
You
learn
watch
that technique.
videos, watch. I love watching Mondo Duplantis, but don't try to. Biggest advice: don't try to like copy anybody.
Okay.
People try to copy styles and mistake style for like, the textbook like what you're supposed to do.
True.
Mondo does this thing where he gets off the ground and then his two legs like kick down and then he like tucks into like a tight ball and it looks like awesome.
It looks awesome.
And like people are like, I want to do that, and I've made the mistake. I'm like, I need to tuck so I can like get upside down better and like shoot off the top, even though I already had like a good inversion and like going off the top like that. And I just tried to like copy everyone, and it ended up making my vault worse, and I had to like rethink that.
Yeah. I mean, it's different, in a field event, but like running, I mean, runners look differently.
Yeah.
But it's like everybody has, their own most efficient form. There isn't one exact form for running, especially like distance running.
You can't
but people don't like straight up copy,
You can't fight like your nature. It's like almost like people have like an inherent nature of pole vaulting.
Yeah.
Like some people.
Exactly.
Sam Kendricks, he does like this thing where his legs are like spread out, like he's doing like the middle splits when he's vaulting. That's sort of how I describe it, which is like way different than Mondo, but he's right up there with him. And just like before Mondo came in, he had like the best, like the record push off.
Yeah.
And I think did he get the record at some point, or that was Lavillenie?
It was Lavillenie.
Yeah. This is other French dude who's also super good,
crazy.
who also has a different technique. These people
he had the record before Mondo too.
But everyone's looking at the person who's like the best right now, which is Mondo, and they're like, gotta copy him like on each and every point, which is not a good idea. I mean, before Mondo, it was Lavillenie, and they were all trying to copy him.
Someone new.
And Mondo, he said he never copied anyone, and look where he's at now.
Exactly.
So biggest advice: just don't try to copy people. Just be yourself, but do like the things that make you good at pole vault, which is like getting faster and having a good plant,
Staying tall.
Great.
Yeah.
Don't be a copycat.
All right, and then we'll get into the last segment, Rapid Refresh, the segment where I ask my guests too many questions for them to answer in a timely manner.
All right. Is these like yes or no?
Huh? Well, it's just like, quick responses.
Okay, we'll go for it.
All right, so who would play you in a movie? What actor?
I don't know any of
Who
the
would
actors.
you like to play
you
in a movie?
Probably a really handsome dude or something. That'd be nice. I don't know, but For Nino,
Sylvester Stallone. Young
Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, that'd be perfect.
A young
I don't know
Sylvester
any. I
Stallone.
don't
You don't know anybody?
I don't know any dudes. I like Chris.
Hemsworth.
Not Hemsworth.
Chris Pratt.
Evans.
Chris Pratt, I think. Yeah, he's the guy from Parks and Recreation, right?
Yeah.
I think he's so cool. He's like my favorite actor because he's the only actor that I know the
He's
name
such
to.
like a dad bod dude.
He's so funny.
That's amazing.
I think he's great. Yeah.
Awesome.
Chris Pratt.
Trust with your life, trust with your wife. Zach Taylor and John Hunt from episode 8. Your life and your wife. Who are you trusting with your life, and then who are you trusting with your wife? Zach or John?
Okay, I would trust Zach with my life and John with my wife.
Yeah, probably that too. I would.
I can't trust Zach in a room with a woman.
I trust John. I think John's
It's
cool.
Uncle John.
I think Zach is super cool, but I don't like
Not near your wife?
but not with my wife. No. Stay away from my wife, Zach.
Okay.
That was a good
All
one.
right. What does your morning routine look like?
I used
both
to
have weird ones.
wake up a little bit earlier, but not anymore.
We've been made fun of for our morning routines with because we do like handstands and stuff in the morning.
hallway and
Yeah.
like, I don't know, wash your face. That's a
Yeah.
normal one.
So before you eat, you got to do a handstand. or
Make my
something.
bed.
we
Fiber One cereal.
who was it? I forgot who it was, but someone was making fun of me for doing handstands in my room, and then I've been like just trying to get better at
Marco?
like kind of being on my hands. Oh,
Your
it was
roommate?
Marco. Yeah, it was Marco.
Yeah, probably your roommate.
Yeah.
Is making fun of you.
I've been just trying to get better at like balancing on my hands. So like every morning I wake up to wake myself up, I'll do
Good
some
body
handstands.
awareness.
Yeah, just pointing the toes to the sky. Yeah.
All right, so we know you're great pole vaulters, but in general, what are you not very good at? Could be anything.
Math.
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 Math?
Math. Yeah, I suck at math.
I'm trying to think.
Already trying to
there's
think.
a lot of
Nothing he's bad at.
Well, there's like things that I wish I could change. Like I'm really weird about like when I see a mirror, I like always have to like look over and like see how I'm looking and
Okay.
stuff. It's just
He always looks
weird.
at
It's like
we'll be waiting for the elevator and he'll look like people like flex in the mirror or whatever. He'll look at his Achilles and how long it is.
I'm really like
What?
self-conscious about the weirdest things. Like I want my torso to be shorter or something. Like to be like more efficient runner or something stupid. But it's like really, I don't know, stupid stuff. Like
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, if you could get rid of any state, what would it be and why?
Wyoming.
I don't know. California's kind of weird.
Okay, why are you getting rid of those two states?
There's nothing in Wyoming.
I don't really know.
It's just
My
Wyoming.
brother, he was stationed in California, and he says it's kind of like a trashy place.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I gotta say Iowa, just to get on Habibu.
Des Moines. Des Moines.
Especially Des Moines. Like if Des Moines could just be like off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Abby.
I don't know. I like all the states. I think all the states are cool. I think California's cool.
Okay, very political answer. You could be a politician, Arnie.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Who is your biggest inspiration?
For
Anything.
For anything.
Life, pole vaulting.
biggest inspiration, my dad probably. Yeah, my dad. I don't know. He's gone through a lot, but he always is like, keeping a smile on his face, and he loves everyone, and everyone loves him.
It's good.
Yeah, probably my grandpa or my nanu. Yeah. He was an immigrant, so he kind of had it rough, but I grew up with him a lot. Had to see all that, yeah.
All right. What are you looking forward to in the future? Could be tomorrow, could be a couple weeks. What are you looking forward to?
I've just been thinking about track and field career. Like that's super exciting. Just seeing what I'm like capable of.
Yeah.
December 3rd?
We go to school.
December 3rd. Yes.
Get out of
I'm
school.
looking forward to that.
We eat right after school, and then we just start practicing. Like, not even if it's pole vault, we'll be on the rings or the ropes. You'll see us doing abs 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're always doing something to get better, and we want to be the best freshman possible.
And I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving coming
awesome.
up. I love Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
Makes sense, right? I'm a big eater.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm looking forward to the World Cup. That's going to be over Thanksgiving
World
break
Cup,
now. Yeah. In Qatar. All right. What is one thing you cannot live without?
You got something?
One thing I can't live without.
I probably could live without my Zero shoes. I'd probably just go barefoot. I don't know.
Food? Any food?
Yeah, I couldn't.
I mean,
I
food.
literally couldn't live without food. Oh my gosh, that's a tough one. Like, there's a lot of things, but I'm just trying to think of like the best one.
Probably my earbuds, because I just like need to have something playing in my head at all times.
Salt. I love salty foods. Like, salt is delicious. That's pretty. Yeah, salt. That's a good answer.
All right.
I like
What
that.
is your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure?
Something.
Well, food, but we were already talking about that. Guilty pleasure.
Guilty. I mean, watching Pitch Perfect.
I'm trying not to think about food.
You didn't seem very guilty about that.
I mean, it's definitely a weird thing. Like people wouldn't expect.
I don't know, like picking my nose or something. When nobody's watching. Like, that's my guilty pleasure.
Okay. And eating it?
No, that's gross. No, I can't. No.
You sure about that?
I just pick my nose. No, that's gross.
All right.
Everyone picks their nose.
Fair enough. All right. What is the biggest myth in pole vaulting? Maybe we already went over it.
I
Yeah,
think
maybe we
have
did.
a little bit. It's more just like being yourself than anything. I think people just always base it off someone else or like say, look
Yeah.
at this person, but it's all based on just who you are, like how you're built and all that.
Or like, I don't know, when everyone asks me, like even my friends, like, why don't you just get a longer pole and just jump higher? Why don't you just get a longer pole?
That's a stupid thing.
It's
to
like
say.
the faster you run, then you can get like a longer pole.
There's a lot into it.
So like the faster you run, it just opens up more options for you for like pole sizes, like and like stiffnesses of the pole and how long the pole can be. Obviously, the longer the pole, you're already initially like gripping up higher.
I mean, this is more for like pole vaulters than like people who just like look at it, but like the flex on the pole is like actually like more important than like the weight of the pole itself, which is like
so the flex number is just they like take a pole, they put it on like two ends, and then they weigh it in the middle and see how much it drops down in centimeters, I think.
and then there's like a big
if-
equation.
And if the drop is lower, like much lower, then the pole is more flexible. You can imagine the pole swooping down, and the weight is like, making it bend a little bit more. And if it bends less, then the weight number is a lot lower. So if you had a weight label of like 10 compared to 14, the 10 is going to be a lot stiffer, and therefore like you have to be a lot faster and probably heavier to get on the pole.
Yeah.
Okay.
But sorry, one more thing. But the weight label is just like the brand pole just like arbitrarily decides it's like a 180, and people who are below 180 pounds can use that pole.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then before, I ask the last question, anything you wish that I asked you? Or anything you want to say with this platform right now?
I think I did, but I just like totally forgot about it. I'm like,
not off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't know. That's I got to get creative to think about. I'm not a very creative guy.
That's false.
I think I'm just kind of random. I'm not.
Okay, you're random, but you're not creative.
People
fair
confuse the two, I think. You're just random.
All right, and then so who is your biggest supporters? Shout them out.
My dad, my mom, of course. Probably my coaches, Luke, Elliot Krause, Coach Tom. I think, my family.
I'm gonna go Coach Draska from Lake Park, Coach Kraus, coached him as well. He was a big help, and then my parents, and they were all just great help. Tom's been helping a lot. He's very supportive with the mental aspect of it.
Tom's a great guy.
Yeah,
just supporters in general, or supporters related to pole vault?
Anybody,
I know. I like talking to my girlfriend. She's a good supporter. Yeah, but I don't know. She doesn't know much about pole vault anyway. So but that's if you're supporting me, you're supporting pole vault because that's like my life. So
exactly. Okay, so you can sign the table while I just talk about the last part wherever you want. How can they follow you on social media or reach you, Arnie?
I'm just on Instagram, just Arnie Grunert. And I think it's public. It's just a pole vault Instagram.
Okay.
And that's where you can get me. Arnie Grunert.
All right. Leave a review if listening on a podcasting platform. Follow along for more running-related content every Sunday at noon. How can they reach you, Nino?
Instagram, Gaetano_Romeo13. It's kind of hard to find, but it's there.
All right.
Somewhere.
And then also check out any other past episodes. We mentioned a lot of people on the team that I've already interviewed, like Hobby, Malia, John, Zach, whatever. There's some past episodes. They're all funny, all interesting people. And then there's been a poll sitting here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
this is our present.
Can you explain this?
So when we were talking about breaking poles from earlier, this is one that I recently broke 2 days ago. And it busted up my hand. It's a really nice pole too.
It's really nice. It's a pretty one.
Oh my gosh, that's another misconception about pole vault is that they're just sticks, right? Like how can a stick be that expensive? This thing probably cost at least $800.
Well, we looked that one up. It was $950.
$950
there, yeah.
bucks,
Wow.
and this isn't even the bigger poles. Like this is
It's a thick pole.
it's a pretty thick pole because I'm a thicker guy. I like my food like we were talking about, but
Yeah. I mean, my sister had
gosh.
to rent poles this past high school season. Even that is expensive.
luckily we had a warranty on it, so we got a new pole. But yeah, this is a cool souvenir if you're into it. Just
Awesome.
don't
You should probably tape that off or
yeah,
whatever.
because this
but
is
it's
this
like
will
hanging
Is it what are they made out of? Is it fiberglass?
fiberglass
Yeah.
and
It's kind of
sometimes
like a hockey stick, probably similar.
carbon fiber
There's
too.
carbon fiber in it.
Yeah.
That's the new thing.
Yeah,
Is
I played hockey a
They're
little
just
bit.
they're just putting carbon fiber in everything. They put it in shoes. They put it in poles. They put it in the gaming mice that I buy.
Gaming.
but yeah, it's
Awesome. Well,
Kinda
thank
cool
you.
to
Keeps you
around.
pleased with it.
Thank you for coming on the podcast. Got anything else?
I think that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Not creative to
Awesome.
come up with anything.
All right. Just random.
Yep.